Hello and good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. We're going to go live on Amazon Live. I'm just waiting for the signal to go through to OneStream, and it has. So I'm going to press go live there. Waiting for OneStream to go live. OneStream allows me to broadcast up to 30 different sites from my mobile live studio. So let's preview on my iPad. You need an iPad or an iPhone to broadcast on Amazon Live. And I'm waiting for it to go live, and it says go live now. So rushing back to the studio and just made it. Okay, let's take that off full screen. Okay, hello and welcome to this live broadcast on Amazon Live. And thank you for joining me today, and thank you for joining me on Facebook and YouTube. I'm live on Live Video Salsa with Stephen, and I'm live on my YouTube account as we settle in for today's broadcast. And I'm going to give you, first of all, a quick tour of my BeLive studio. I'll be talking soon-ish about this. Okay, and I need to take off this clock. Let me remove the clock. Okay, I know the clock's ticking, but we don't want it to tick. Okay, I'll be talking about expert VCam background removal as we look at the Logitech C920x camera. So that is Logitech C920x. I'll be talking about the Logitech LitroGlow light. I was fortunate enough to watch my friend Marco Novo, who broadcasts on Amazon Live, of course, and he was talking to Daniel Sigman of Logitech, and Daniel showed this light, and I was quite taken with it, and I'll tell you why in a moment. Okay, and then here I've got my second camera, which is my demonstration camera. This is live, and there's my iPad, and there's the live broadcast. So we are live, which is good. And also, the next one is my show card. Now, my show card, I publish these show cards on Facebook, and not in the most obvious of places, and people liked it. I just want to say thank you to my partner Angelica, who actually took the background photo, which is in our wild garden. And it's a beautiful sunny day today, and all the flowers are out, and that is an actual picture from our garden. This, you are watching Lights, Camera, Action with Stephen, webcams, audio gear, microphones, live video, and Fitbits. And I'll be talking about Fitbits shortly. So that's that. And now, the question I'm often asked is, where are you? So I'm going to tell you where I am, because you'll tell from my accent that I'm not from the States. I'm actually one of 4 broadcasters from England, and I'm grateful to be here, and I'm glad that you're spending time with me today. We'll get down to the carousel in a minute. If you've got any questions about live broadcasting, about cameras, about microphones, about green screens, then please do ask during the course of the broadcast, or just simply say hello and tell me where you are. It's great to have interaction on the broadcast. My broadcasting friends come in. I know Rome may visit, Marco may visit. Marco may be watching and not say anything, but if you've got anything to ask, then please ask. At the end of the broadcast, all the comments disappear. So anything you ask is only visible to the people watching live, and thank you for watching live. So finally, as we tour my screen, I'm going to go over here, and we live close to this place, which is Stonehenge, and we're very fortunate to be able to visit there 4 or 5 times a year. So Stonehenge, I'll show you a video of Stonehenge later. We'll visit Stonehenge and we walk around it. Devizes is a town in Wiltshire in England, close to Stonehenge, we've just seen, about 97 miles away from London. And we have the most amazing parks department who look after the parks. This is Hillworth Park, and people can go walk around, play tennis. There's a children's playground, and there's an aviary, and there is a restaurant. So great place to actually visit and go for a walk. This is our town centre. This is Devizes, and this gives you an idea of what the town centre looks like. This was taken early in the morning when there was nobody about, and this is the main shopping area. Okay, we don't have shopping centres, we just have a shopping streets or streets. This is basically from earlier. This is an area with listed buildings in it, and you can see blue packs on the wall. And this leads up on the right hand side at the top. You've got Devizes Town Hall, and that is where all the town council meet and govern the town. And England is divided into counties. Counties have towns, towns have councils, and the town council oversees the running of services in the town. This is the church, which is just behind the ginnel we looked at. Beautiful church. It holds services. In addition to that, it's also used for concerts. Right. All these photographs I'm showing you, I actually took. They're part of my favorites, and I'm grateful to Google for stitching 3 photos together for this one. This is the Crammer, which is a man-built lake near to St. John's Church, which is the church that we go to on Sunday. And Google stitched 3 photos together to actually make this panoramic view, and it works quite well. If you can spot the same duck twice, then tell Google, but I think it's quite good. Okay, this is market day in Devizes. The town has a charter granted by the Queen or King at the time and can hold a weekly farmers market. This is not it, but this is similar to it. Okay, but those are the buildings in the background. And then very occasionally, we go out to Quartz Garden. This is one of my favorite photographs of the Quartz Garden. Again, we're in Wiltshire in England. This used to be, before it was turned into a garden, it used to be an industrial estate. And it was been transformed into a beautiful garden. We do get snow. This is one of my rare snow photographs, and you can see it's only about 4 inches deep, so it's not too much snow. And then we have a carnival, a parade every year, and bands come from around the country to actually join in. And this is one of my favorite walks, a walk in the woods. And we're going to come on talk about walking during this broadcast, because that's part of the action part of things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch that camera off, and we could come to our first item in a moment. I'm going to switch that camera off. Okay, I'm going to hide that because you know this is lights, camera, action. Okay, we'll be coming on to Expert Webcam. We'll be talking about Logitech Light, and there you are, one of my favorite walks. So back to me. Okay, so that's a little bit about me. I love taking photographs, and to be able to show them on screen is absolutely brilliant. And I want to say thank you for watching me live today. I do so enjoy being on Amazon Live, and I feel blessed of being one of 4 Englishmen to actually do this. Okay, now the first thing you'll probably notice is you're going to say, and I know you're going to say, that you're a bit dark. So the first thing we're going to do is to switch the light on. And immediately you can see me in brightness. Okay, I'm being lit by a single light. That light is positioned next to my Logitech Brio camera. Okay, you're listening to an Elgato Wave 3 microphone, which I'll show you later, and you're watching a Logitech Brio camera broadcasting to Amazon Live at 720 pixels. So it's DVD quality video. It's not high quality, it's DVD quality. But I want to talk to you about this. And I'm going to bring this back on screen so that you know what I'm talking about. We know, I'm going to hide that one. We know Logitech, and just pressing the hide button and picture in picture. We know Logitech, I'm just reaching over for something, and I'm going to bring it on camera in a second. We know Logitech are well known for their cameras. Logitech C920, which I'll show you in a moment, for Logitech 922, 925, 930, the Brio, which I'll show you as well. But this is their first light. Now, I was watching Marco Novo live on Amazon Live, and he was talking to Daniel Ziegman of Logitech. And I saw this light that Daniel was actually demonstrating, and I thought, that light will solve my lighting problems. And it does. Okay, I'm being lit by a Logitech Litra light now, and I've got a second spare one here. I had two softboxes, one either side of me, and the light went on the wall, reflected back on me, worked perfectly for 3 years. But the thing about softboxes is that you can only switch them on and switch them off. What you can't do is you can't vary the light. It's just a bright light, and that's it. With the Logitech Litra light, things are somewhat different. So I'm going to show you the light. Okay, and say hello to Corinda. And Corinda is in London. And thank you for joining me, Corinda. And I am live. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, then please do click the link up above and come directly to Amazon Live. There is nothing better than watching this broadcast on Amazon Live, because when I talk about things in the carousel, you'll know what I'm talking about, because at the moment, this Logitech Litra light at $59.99 is actually highlighted in the carousel. When you get the light, okay, this light, you have cellophane around there and you have cellophane around the bottom, okay? All you need to do is to take that off. The light is then ready to use. You lift up the shelf there, so that's the shelf, and that shelf then goes on the top of your monitor or your laptop or your Mac. Simple and straightforward to do. It just, that lip there holds on to the front of the monitor or PC, and that's it. That's how it sits. It sits, I mean, basically it's above me and it's shining light down on me, and it's the only light I've got in the office at the moment. Okay, now to the light itself. First of all, you can bend it forwards to that degree. Okay, so bend up and down. You can twist it to the right. You can twist it to the left. Okay, so far so good. Now, you can also extend the light. So I can extend the light right up to the top so you can get it at the angle you want it to be. Okay, this is basically a very versatile light that you can get the light just right. That's what it's all about, getting the lighting right. Put it back down, and I can tell you that the light that's highlighting me at the moment is like that. It's on the top of my monitor next to the Brio camera, and the light is shining directly on me. Now, if you don't want to use this stand with the light, what you can do is take your trusty tripod, okay, twist the light off this stand, and then attach it to the tripod. And that means that you can have the light anywhere on your desking or anywhere in your office. Okay, I told you it was versatile. It is, because you can put it on a tripod. Okay, any tripod. It's a standard fitting, standard thread, so you can just put it on the tripod. We'll see the tripod later. For the moment, I'm going to let it rest on my desk. Okay, on the back of the unit, you've got the controls. Okay, and you can switch the light on by pressing the button in the center. Okay, and when you press the button in the center, nothing happens unless right, what you have to do first before you switch it on is to plug in the USB to USB-C cable supplied with it. Now, it's been optimized for use with the light. I don't see any reason to use any cable other than the one that comes with in the box. Talking of the box, that's the box it comes in. Logitech Litra Glow light, and there's the boxing. I'm not going to do an unboxing because I've already got it unboxed, and they've got all the information on the back as well. And if I put it the right way up, you might be able to see it. Never mind. Okay, so that's the box. Now I'm going to try again. But first, you don't succeed, try again. If I switch the light on, then as you can see, the light comes on. So one switch to switch the light on and off. Okay. Besides that, you have a control for temperature and a control for brightness. You've got two controls. So when I mentioned the soft boxes earlier, you can switch them on and off. With this, you can, right, I could reach up to the light and adjust it now, I'm going to switch this one off. One of the beauties of Logitech is that Logitech work and produce cameras for broadcasters and gamers. And for gamers, they produced a piece of software, which I'm going to show you now, which is called Logitech G Hub. And that controls the light. So buy the light, click the link in the carousel to find out more, buy the light, and then go to logitech.com to actually download the software. Now, before I get there, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the light. Now, if you watched me before, you'll know that I've got a crib sheet. Okay. When you're actually broadcasting live with the best will in the world, if you ask me about Logitech Litra Glow light, then I'll be able to tell you about it, but I might miss something. So I don't miss something, I'm calling this the Logitech Litra Glow. In actual fact, its full title is the Logitech Litra Glow Premium LED Streaming Light. And the hint is there, streaming. The thing about this light is that it's not an obtrusive light, doesn't get in the way. The one that's pointing down at me, I can just forget about it. Okay, it's just there, and it doesn't distract me, doesn't glare, it's not a glaring light. And the other thing is that this light was designed with gamers in mind, and this, you can have this on 24 hours a day. Okay, low power, and you can use it 24 hours a day, and it has no, well, it just says on the box, you can use this 24 hours a day, as we'll see in a moment. Now, I don't broadcast 24 hours a day. Some people think I do, but I don't actually broadcast 24 hours a day. I do broadcast 5 times a week on Amazon Live. I do broadcast for Be Live, and I am broadcasting today from my Be Live studio. Wherever you see that logo, that's Be Live. Okay. Be Live, 8 people on screen, integral YouTube video, images, agendas, lower thirds, stability, totally stable system. It's a web-based software, and you can use it straight away. If you go to Be Live, you get a free trial. Anyway, less of that, and more of Logitech Litra Light. I will be mentioning things along the way, which are not in the carousel, but most of the things are in the carousel. Now, point about that. As you can see, I have a Logitech Litra light, and you have guessed by now I've actually got 2 Logitech Litra lights. The items in the carousel, I own over 75% of them. So if you have any questions about the items in the carousel, ask. Yeah, this is a free service to everybody who uses Amazon.com. And the more you comment, then happier, we'll get a better atmosphere, and everybody wins, because this is where you can ask live questions about Logitech Litra Light and about all the Logitech cameras. Anything that you see in the carousel, I know about, and I'm happy to answer your questions. So Logitech Litra Light, we know it has true soft lighting, which means that it's not in your face, it's not blaring at you. It's very soft lighting, as we'll see. It's got an adjustable monitor mount. As I said, you can go like that, you can go like that, and you can go like that. Okay, so you can adjust it to the angle you want. Mine, just a reminder, is like that. It's pointed down at me. It's on top of my BenQ monitor, and the BenQ monitor is down in the carousel, 27-inch monitor, capable of very high resolutions. Okay, next point about the Litra light is the brightness and color temperatures settings, which I've shown you on the back of the light. And in addition to that, it's got natural skin tone. So it's not, I'm going to try and switch it on again. It's not blasting, yeah? It's actually leaving your natural skin tones. Okay, that's pretty close, yeah? Switch it off again. It's safe for all-day streaming, which I said earlier. And in addition to that, it's got freedom of light placement. We said you can put it onto a tripod. And it's got Logitech's free G Hub app. Now, to actually show you the light, I mean, you've got the light on me, so you know that it's a reasonably good light coming down on me and not causing any problems at all. And you've seen the controls on the back, but there is a piece of software which I'm going share with you now, and this is what makes life a lot easier. When hardware manufacturers actually provide us with the software to control the hardware, it's a lot better. So we're going to take a look at Logitech G Hub now, and I'm going to bring it on screen, and I'm going to put it full screen. So this is the software. This is G Hub, and as you can see, basically, if I go, let's go picture in picture. Okay, and thank you, Daniel. If I go picture in picture, then you can see that that's the light. I'm going to put that light down. Okay, and that light is now safe. I can't break, nothing will happen to that light. But if I go side by side, yeah, you can now see that Logitech Brio camera and then the light controls are here now. If I switch the light off and I'm just using the software that's to the right of me, then I go dark. Okay, and what's happened, the camera, Logitech Brio, is trying to compensate, but it's nowhere near as good as actually having a light on. So this is with the light on. I just don't want to labor anything, but this is with the light on, and this is with the Logitech Litra light off. Okay, it goes darker, lighter. When it's lighter, you can actually see me. Now, when you're broadcasting, and in broadcasting, we cover Zoom, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, your website, wherever you're broadcasting, you need good lighting. You need a good camera, an external camera, which I'll talk about. But the other thing you need is lighting, and you need to be lit properly. This one light at $59.99 provides all the lighting you need for doing a live broadcast. Now, if you've not heard of it before, I can understand why. This Logitech light was released in January 2022. Yeah, so it's not been with us very, very long. I'm going to come off, and what we're going to do with the software comes with 6 presets, and I'm going to go through the 6 presets. So these are settings that you can use without doing anything. So let's start at the beginning, and the first one, this is the brightness one, and this is the brightest. The brightness is up at the fullest, yeah, and the color is down at the bottom. So this is not really how I look. Okay, but if I go for the second setting, we're going to get closer to my skin tones, as we mentioned earlier. And I go for the second one. Now, just a warning, you may only see a subtle difference, but I do assure you the difference is there. So we're going to go to stage now. We've got 20% temperature and 20% brightness, and that's getting closer. All right, this is called Cozy Daylight. Then the next one, which is quite possibly my favorite lighting, is this. And it's like basically you've got 6 presets. You can choose which one you want to use according to the time of day. And the next one right in here, please. This is Soft Sunset. So this one I quite like too, because it is a soft. This is a soft light, and the skin tones are natural, and you're seeing pretty close to the real color of the background screen behind me, which is why I've got the background screen, because that measures, that gives us a reference point, because I can look at the screen and say, yes, that is close to the actual real world color. And then the final preset is this one. Okay, and this is Cozy Candlelight, and if you're doing evening broadcasts, then this is the ideal one to have. It is, again, one of my favorites. Now the next one, the final preset, is this one, and this one I have to take full responsibility for. You can create one preset yourself, so you've got 6 that you can actually use, and then a preset that you can use yourself. And I've made, well, I think I can do better, don't you? So let's go to the software, and what I'm going to do is I've got the brightness right up at the top, so let's pull the brightness back. Okay, so that's better. And then let's pull the temperature back, decrease the warmth to about there. Okay, So it's now looking pretty reasonably like I actually look. Okay, so this is pretty close. Now, the preset that you do is saved by the system and you can change it anytime. So the software that we've just been using is G Hub. G Hub is used by millions of gamers around the world, yeah, to control cameras, to control any accessories they're actually using in their live broadcast. So it is tried and tested software. They've added Logitech Litra Glow light to it. Now you can control the light using the software. Just go to logitech.com, download the software, and that's it. So what I'm saying is that that is a great place to actually start in your search for lighting, is the Logitech Litra Glow light. Okay, and that's it. We've covered it. So click the link in the carousel to find out more. And then, I bought 2 of them. I was so impressed by it. Okay. Thank you for watching me on Amazon Live. I do appreciate your spending your time with me. And the next thing that we're going to look at is Logitech C920x. Okay. Now, when you first start broadcasting, you start off with your computer, with the inbuilt microphone, the inbuilt camera. That's where it all starts. And my suggestion, which I'll be repeating on the show tomorrow, is not to buy any additional hardware until you're happy with broadcasting, and be it on Zoom or be it on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. Okay, or your website. Don't get an external camera until you enjoy broadcasting. Then you can start a continual, never-ending cycle of improvement. CANI, C-A-N-I. And one of the first things that you buy is an external camera. Yeah. Now, the first camera that I bought, little story, we were all on Blab 7 years ago. That's where sort of this live video thing started really and took off. Right, the system called Blab, just before Facebook Live started. If you remember, Facebook Live starting 6 years ago, and then along came a piece of software, Be Live, and that's when we decided to up our game. And you up your game by improving the video and by improving the sound. Okay, this is the Logitech C920x, which is down in the carousel. Yeah, and the light I'm showing you is 6 years old. I will say it's been redesigned, but this fact I've been using this for 6 years and it still works is testament to the quality of the Logitech build. Okay, now the camera that's down in the carousel is not this one. Well, it is this one, but it is a C920. This is a C920, but it's been redesigned. So you've got the central lens, you have twin microphones, and it's got a field of view of 78 degrees. Okay. When you get it, you take it out of the box, you pull down, there's a shelf there, and then you put it on top of your monitor. That's it. It's ready to go. And you want to position it so it's in your eye line so that you can look at the monitor. Sorry, look at the camera and be centered and be looking at people who are watching you. The other part of it, this end of it, this is why this camera is not switched on at the moment, is actually plugged into your PC or Mac. Now, there have been millions of these cameras sold around the world, and your PC or Mac will recognize this camera straight away. This is a great beginner's camera. It's the first camera that most people buy. I mean, hundreds of us, when Facebook Live arrived 6 years ago, went out and I know hundreds, I know thousands and millions actually went out, but went out and got the C920. It is a very high spec camera, and this is a great camera as a gift to yourself, to your family, or to a friend. If you've got somebody who's thinking of starting live broadcasting, let's include Zoom in that, then this is the great first camera to get people. You can't get better than Logitech brand. Okay, trusted, reliable, hard wearing. Yeah. Now, It goes on top of your monitor. But if you don't want it on your monitor, then you'll notice that on the bottom of the camera, as I showed to you, there is a thread. And you can take your trusty tripod, okay, this tripod, and I'm going to do this live, okay. I'm not going to actually show you me doing it, but I'm going to do this live. So I am now, at this very minute, he said, this should work. I'm actually putting that Logitech C9, it should work after I finished it as well. Let me, okay. Now, as I said earlier, if you've got any questions at all about live broadcasting, I've been live broadcasting for 7 years. I'm happy to answer your questions from a technical point of view. If you just want to say hello, just type in the comments, hello. If you're watching me on Amazon Live, I want to say thank you and reach out and say, can I help? Yeah, okay. That was enough time for to actually put the camera on top of the tripod. And I need to set it up, but you can set it up. And then the beauty of that is that you can put the 3 tripod legs out, and then you can position the camera anywhere on your desking. Now, the camera works if you plug it into your PC or Mac, or you plug it into a USB extension. Okay, so it works either way. I've tried and tested it. So if this is a second or third camera, then put it into the extension. It's just great out of the box. But this, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it from my crib sheet. So we're going to go to my Logitech C920x crib sheet. I know it as a Logitech C920x. I'll explain what the X is, because the X stands for extra. I'm going to show you what's extra in a minute. The camera is a full 1080p 30 frames per second. Now, 1080p is a higher definition than I'm broadcasting in now. I'm broadcasting to you on Amazon Live at 720p. 1080p is a higher definition. 720 is DVD quality. Okay, 30 frames per second. The more frames per second, you can go 30, 60, 90, then the better the quality of the video. Simple as that. But the more frames you send, the more data you send, and most of broadcasting at the moment is stuck at 30 frames per second. It's got the 2 stereo microphones, omnidirectional, so they pick up the sound from everywhere. Okay, be aware of that. It's a great conference cam. HD light correction. As I said earlier, if I switch my light off, then the camera will try and correct so you can still see me. Yeah. Next point, and I will show you this later, there is, as with the Logitech Light, there is software to go with this camera. In fact, there's software to go with every single Logitech camera, one piece of software. It's called Logitech Capture. I will be showing you a demonstration of Logitech Capture when we look at Logitech Brio camera. The only reason that I upgraded from this camera to the Brio was for 4K, and I'll explain why. Okay. And next point about this is, if I take that off, it's got a low light setting, which we covered before, and it's got a 78-degree field of view. And right, okay, mine's 6 years old. Okay, the one down in the carousel was totally redesigned in March 2020. Okay, so you're not buying 6-year-old technology. And if I take that off, Logitech C920x, and this is coming down the home straight now. The X for extra is that this camera has additional software. Now you can see behind me a green screen. Okay, I was asked yesterday, why do you use a green screen with no green screen background? Well, the thing is, if I had a green screen background now, you wouldn't be able to see the camera. That's why I just wanted a plain color behind me. And I do use green screens when I'm not on Amazon Live, but when I'm demonstrating product, I can't have a background removal software running at the same time. It doesn't work. There'll just be tears in the background. It wouldn't look good, which is why I've got the plain green background, so you can actually see everything that I show you. But I use this green screen for background removal software, and I've been using background removal software since January 2019. And the best system that I found, he said, looking around for it, I've got to find this because I want to be able to show it to you. this may be one of those moments where I have to take a break to actually find the software. Ah, no. Okay. Now, when I mentioned background removal software or green screen software, okay, we've seen how to use the Litra camera, so I can Litra light, so I can remove that. I'm now going to go picture in picture. Okay, XSplit VCam, you get a 3-month license with the Logitech C920x camera. I'm going to explain to you now how background removal works, irrespective of which software it is. Okay, and obviously showcase the software that you see on screen at the moment. So I'm going to turn my England, and I'm here to give you an overview of XSplit VCam, how it works. Background removal tool I've been using since January 2019, and it just keeps getting better and better. Now the image behind me is one of Salisbury Cathedral, and the acid test of any background removal tool is that you still have 10 fingers with little webbing between them. Okay, so that test passed. Second is the outline of your body. Those are the things to look for when you're looking at a green screen, the ability to actually move about. So let's take a look at the software itself. And this is the XSplit VCam program. Okay, now you notice the top there, it says original. This is me. This is also me. So this is how I look normally. Now, first stage is to actually remove the background. So let's remove the background by pressing a button, and I get background's gone. Okay, prove that if I go here, background has disappeared. Okay, so next step is to select a background to go in place, and you can do that just by clicking an image. You'll get a different background. Okay, that's it. That's very colorful. Now, just a warning, you need to make sure that the image at the top is not too light. Okay, what you don't want is to have an image too light at the top. If you try it, you'll see what I mean. Okay, now XSplit VCam is an external program which you download from XSplit, and it sits on your computer and you can use it in this way. Okay, so over to one of my favorite backgrounds. So I'm just switching background. Now, if I go to here, you can actually see that I can get backgrounds from several sources. I can upload a media file. Okay, and I'm going to upload a media file. I'm going to go on my hard drive to artwork and to reduced. Okay, and I'm going to bring up this image, and that's it. That's how easy it is to take an image from your hard drive and bring it on screen. Second thing you can do is you can run the second. I'm back now. The second thing you can do is you can use your YouTube video as your background. So you can have a moving background using XSplit VCam. And XSplit VCam is relevant because Logitech C920x includes a 3-month license of XSplit VCam background removal, and I've been using it since Jan 2019. I think it's the best. Okay. So you can use your YouTube video. Now, if it's your own video, not a problem. If it's somebody else's video, it has to be public and have to allow people to embed the video. If they haven't done that, then when you put the video into your XSplit VCam, it won't work. If a YouTube video doesn't work, there's nothing you can do to change that. So what you should do is just move on to the next video, so you can have a moving background. Third thing you can do is you can have a web page as your background, and you just need the URL, put it into XSplit VCam, and the web page is behind you. You can talk about the web page whilst you're live, and you can change it whilst you're live. So if you want to showcase 2 or 3 websites, XSplit VCam is a great way to actually do it. It's an easy way, because all you need is the URLs of the web pages. Now, if you're using your own web pages, brilliant. If you're using somebody else's web page, then when you're broadcasting live on Zoom or Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch, or your website, do say whose site it is. I acknowledge that. Okay. by default, all websites are public, but it's just polite. Now, the final place that we can get backgrounds from, and I use it quite often, is a site called unsplash.com. Let me just write that down for you. So I'm going to go down here, and I'm just typing, so forgive me for a moment, because I can say it, but I want you to see it. So I'm adding this to my agenda, and I've typed it wrongly. Bear with me a minute. Okay, I've got it. If you go to unsplash.com, yeah, you can unsplash.com is where photographers from around the world have sent in their best photographs. Okay, it's a showcase for photographers around the world. And if you go to unsplash.com and you type in the search box Paris, Texas, you will get images from Paris, Texas. If you type in Paris, France, you'll get images from Paris, France, possibly including the Eiffel Tower and the Louvre. So it's a searchable option where you can get the background you want. I put in, I just wanted a blue-green background, and I wanted the blue and the green, and I found it. I found the perfect background on unsplash.com and use it. Well, not on Amazon Live. I use my green screen, and I actually talk about, well, at the moment, blue and yellow are related to Ukraine. I do a show about how we can help the Ukraine, and it's on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So that's why I needed the green and yellow background, blue and yellow background. So unsplash.com, great place to get what you actually need. Just a minute, I'm just checking something. Yeah, we're still live. I just had a fright. My iPad went off, and I thought, okay. So that's the Logitech C920x camera, which is, I put it down somewhere. Oh, I know where I put it. Don't forget, you can put it onto a tripod. Let's just unfasten the tripod. Okay, it takes a second or two. Okay, so the tripod is now free for use later in this broadcast. And the camera, I'm going to be tidy today. You'll see why in a moment. I'm going to put this Logitech C920x camera, which comes with the Expert VCam software, back on its perch, and that's back up there. Okay, right. So that is a Logitech C920x camera. Okay. If you're watching me live now, I want to say thank you. Do appreciate your spending part of your day with me. I hope to help in any buying decisions you have on Amazon.com. I'm here to help with advice. It is my advice. I'm independent. I don't work for Amazon. And none of the hundreds, thousands of live broadcasters work for Amazon. We're all independent broadcasters who are enjoying being part of this live shopping revolution. And Amazon.com/live is a resource you can use 24/7. In fact, if you click the browse button, not now, but if you click the browse button at the top, then you click streaming soon, you will see everybody who's going to be streaming today on Amazon Live. Everybody will have a show card, yeah, and that show card will tell you what the show's about, tell you when it's on, and you've got your own TV guide for Amazon Live, and it's virtually 24/7. And it is broadcasters from around the world broadcasting in English about the products on Amazon.com. We just enjoy broadcasting, that's one, and two, we know about the products that are actually in the carousel. The next item I'm going to go on to, I can stop sharing now, which might improve things a little bit. I've only got 2 tabs open at the moment, because that's a wise thing to do when you're live broadcasting. And I'm going to go on to the Logitech Brio camera. Now, the thing about the Logitech Brio camera is that you're actually watching it now. Okay, this is Logitech Brio. It is 720, 1080p, and 4K. And it's the 4K I actually got it for. I'm broadcasting you in 720 pixels. That's the resolution, which is DVD, and then we go 1080, and then we go 4K. And 4K is somewhere up there. very high quality, best we can get commercially at the moment. And if you get the Logitech Brio camera, you can broadcast in 4K to YouTube. And I broadcast in 4K to YouTube last week, and a couple of weeks before, and I was blown away by the quality of a 4K broadcast. 4K is totally different from anything else. It's the best quality we can get. You can see it's a clearer, better definition of what's on camera. What's on camera, of course, was me. Okay, and it just works. So I was blown away by it. So using the 4K, absolutely brilliant. Logitech Brio, if you're down the carousel, 4K webcam. Let's just go through the main features. Then what I'm going to do in a moment, he said, in a moment, I'm going to show you the software that actually controls any Logitech camera. So if you've got a Logitech camera and you want to make better use of it, stay with me and I'll tell you all about the software that goes with it. It's Ultra 4K and it is, believe me, it's got a noise cancelling microphone. So the microphone in here has the ability to block out any background noises. There are no background noises, just my voice. Okay. It's got light correction. We saw earlier that if I switch the light on, I forgot to switch the light back on. Let's switch the light back on. If I switch the light back on, you'll see that it looks better now. Okay, that's bad. I forgot to switch the light on. Hope you can see me, or you could see me before. We're now lit by Logitech Nitra light. Okay, so it's been doing this all the time I've been broadcasting for the last 10 minutes or so. It's been doing the auto correction so you can still see me. It's got a wide field of view. It is a 90-degree angle. So it's got a wider field of view than the 920x. Okay, it's got a 90-degree field of view. At the moment, my camera is on my monitor up above me, and I'm looking, most of the time, I'm looking at the camera, so I'm looking at you. And this used to hint, a little tip here. When you're broadcasting live, the temptation is to actually look at the screen in front of you. What you should actually be doing is looking at the camera, which is slightly up above you. That means that you're actually looking at your audience. And I've been practicing for years. One day I get it right, but I do try to actually look up at the camera. It makes a whole world of difference. Now, as I said, it's 4 times the typical resolution of a standard HD webcam. It is 4. And so Alexa went off then. Okay. She did. I heard her. Okay, the next item in here is 4 times resolution. The other thing about the Logitech Brio, it's got auto light adjustment, which we've been watching. We've been watching that for the last 10 minutes. It's got 3 fields of view. I'm going to show you those. I'm going to show you them now. 65, 78, and 90. So you can determine the field of view. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share my screen, and hopefully, if I share my screen, I'm coming over here to share screen, and I want a particular window, and nope, that's not it. I want to try again. Okay, I wanted a particular window. Right, so we're going to look at a piece of software called Logitech Capture, which you can use any Logitech camera straight out of the box and it will work. If you want greater control, then go to logitech.com, search for Logitech Capture, that way, search for Logitech Capture, download it, install it on your PC or Mac, and then you're good to go. And what you'll see is this, or similar to this. Yeah. Now, in terms of demonstrating, there are 2 pieces of software that Logitech provide. Logitech Capture and the one I'm going to show you now. The principles are exactly the same. The only thing is that this, I don't need that anymore. I'm going to hide that. This software, which you can also download, search for Logitech Capture, you'll find the software I'm about to show you now. Okay, so I'm sharing screen with the software. I'm going to go side by side, and I want to change something so that you can see a bit better. So I'm going to go and change the theme on my screen, and you've now got the software side of me, so you can see me and you can see the software. Okay, and I'm looking at the camera. Always look at the camera. Go back. Okay, so controlling the software. The software, first of all, controls zoom. So I can zoom in. If I zoom in and zoom in and zoom in, that may be too much for a zoom in. So I'm going to zoom out again. Now, at this juncture, I just want to make a point. I watch a lot of live broadcasting. I watch a lot of Zoom. And the number of times that I see people on screen with the top of their head missing is not true. You should not have the top of your head missing when you're broadcasting. It's distracting, and what will happen is you don't get as much attention as you would if you're actually properly framed. Being framed on camera is very important. And what you should have, I'm going to go down another one. Right, when you're on camera, you should be in the middle of the screen, and I'm pretty well as close to the middle as I can get. The second thing is that to be presentable and people want to watch, you've got to have headroom. That's an official term, headroom. Yeah. So there's a space above your head. Yeah. You don't want to be like that. Okay. You want to have headroom. Frame yourself, middle of the screen, headroom. So that is basically zoom in, zoom out. Now you could, if I go here, I could zoom further out. Okay, and you can see more of my office. Now this is a personal choice. I like to just have the green screen behind me for demonstration purposes. You can zoom out until, if I go even smaller than that, yeah, this is with no zoom. This is as the camera is supplied to you without any zoom. And you can see my bookcase, you can see the chess set, you can see the back of my office. But if I zoom up, and I'm going to zoom up now twice. Okay, it's all about being comfortable on camera. And I'm comfortable on camera when I'm like this. Yeah. So it comes without the zoom on. With the software that I'm showing you on the right-hand side, you can do the zoom settings so that you get to the stage where you're comfortable on camera. Okay. The other thing you can do, if I go side by side, is that you can pan left and pan right. So if I go over here, you can see that side of my office. If I go over here, you can see that side of my office. As I said, yeah, what you want to be is center of screen. Yeah. And I just have the green background so I can actually demonstrate things to you. You can tilt. Okay. Either way, you can tilt. Okay. So pan, tilt and zoom manually. Okay. Now, we said that we had 3 fields of vision. This is 65 degrees. Yeah. And you can see the office behind me. Okay. That's 65 degrees. If I go to the next setting, which is my preferred setting, it's 78 degrees. So it's going tighter on me. Then you can go to 90. Sorry. Yeah, you go. So I'm going the wrong way around here. You can go even tighter at 65. So that's 65. That's 78. That's 90. And the wider the angle, the more that you're going to see. And 78 is the one that I'm happiest at. Also on here, I'm going to go side by side again. Okay, so with the software, I can change the brightness. So I can turn the brightness right up so you can hardly see me. I can bring it right down so you can hardly see me. Or I can put it to the default setting, which is 50. Okay, so if I get back to 50, slowly but surely it will go back to 50. I'm going to do this until it does 47, 49, 52. You could spend hours doing this. I'm not going to though. I've got it to 50. 50 is the default. So if you make a mistake, just put it back to 50, and that's has supplied to you. Color intensity, I can go bright red, or I can go sepia, and that's just changing the color intensity. And I'm going to put it back. You guessed it. We're going back to as close to 50 as we can actually get. Okay. And contrast, I can change the contrast. I can up it and I can down it, or I can bring it back to 50. Okay. Now this is all about your personal choice. Yeah. That's annoying me. I want to get that one to 50. There we go. I'm happy now. It's strange. You get to the stage where you're happy on camera, and I'm doing this now, I'm doing this live, and I'm going to lose my settings. I know I am, but it's good to just get it back so that I'm actually comfortable actually presenting. And the final control I'm going to show you here is the white balance, which you can either have on or off depending on the time of day. And that's a bit too red. And if I put it back on, that's better. That's a better skin tone. What you're after doing all this is to actually be comfortable on camera. Now, Logitech Brio is a brilliant camera. It does the 4K. It's got the 3 fields of view, which you've just seen. It's up to 90 frames per second, so fantastic quality video if you've got a Ninja PC or Mac. It's versatile. Mounting options, you can put it on your tripod if you wish, just so you could with the C920. It's 4K, we've established that. It's 1080 and it's a 720. The higher the number, the better the quality and the clearer the picture. This camera was released on February 7th, 2017. I've had mine for about 2 years. I am very happy with it. And the software I've been showing you is Logitech Capture. So that is the Logitech Brio camera. And to say the reason for actually showing you today, other than the fact that you've actually been watching it, is that it's 21% off. So if you buy today, now this is a point I should have made earlier, my apologies. The prices you see in the carousel are the prices whilst I'm live. Okay, I'm live for another hour. Okay, just so you know, I'm live until 1 p.m. I think, yeah, 1 p.m. I've got to do a quick bit of maths. I'm in the UK, I'm 5 hours ahead of you. So I'm live here till 6 o'clock, which means 1 p.m. Eastern. Logitech Brio is 21% off today, and 158.41 as opposed to 199.99. Okay, now this broadcast is called, what's it called? It's called Lights Camera Action with Stephen Healy, and the reason I called it Lights Camera Action is for the action part. What we're going to do now is we'll come back to cameras shortly. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over to here and to my favorite device, something I use every single day. I put it on in the morning, I take it off when I go to bed. And can you guess what it is yet? It's down the carousel. Okay, that's the giveaway. That's the giveaway, is it's down the carousel. I keep fit by walking, yeah, and I use the Fitbit Inspire 2 to do that. I've had, this is it, the black, this is the bracelet it comes with. Okay, you can change the strap, you can have any color you like. If you click the link in the carousel, you'll see all the different colorways, and there are designer straps for Fitbit. Now, just a note, Fitbit is owned by Google. Okay, second thing that's important is that once you buy the Fitbit, everything I'm about to show you is free. I'm going to take you to the Fitbit.com site, and I'm going to show you why I chose the Fitbit and why you will benefit from having a Fitbit. This is a great gift. You're actually giving the gift of fitness, because this single device, this lozenge here, okay, in the Fitbit, tracks your steps. Now, if you walk around the house and don't go out, you'll do about a mile a day, between 3/4 and a mile a day, and that's 2,000 steps. 1 mile is 2,000 steps. This Fitbit will measure every step that you do. Yeah. And if you go out the door, it will measure even more steps. Now, back in December, my partner Angelica said, what we should do in 2022 is we should go out of the house and go for a walk every single day of 2022. I said, that's a great idea. She said, right, okay, these are the rules. You're allowed 15 days if you're busy. Yeah, busy days. So those still count. And if you're ill, obviously, then that counts as well. But you've got to try and go out. Now, we generally go out. We go out at what would be 12 o'clock, and we go for a walk in the local area, which is a delightful place to walk. And we walk for up to an hour. So we're doing up to when we walk, on average, we walk about, walking speed is about just over 3 miles an hour. So when we go out for a walk for an hour, we do 3 miles. If we go out for 40 minutes, we do 2 miles. And every single step is tracked by the Fitbit and it records it. And I'm going to show you now my Fitbit data. Now, the important thing is that everything I'm going to show you now is free. Okay, I'm going to put this back on. And this is why the Fitbit that Google own and you can own, just click the link in the carousel to find out more. There are different models doing different things. Okay, this is the HR Inspire 2. I'm going to stop sharing that and I'm going to share my screen again. And this time I'm going to share a web page, which is a lot easier than actually sharing an app. Okay. Just to reiterate, everything I'm about to show you now is free. Now, the first thing you do with your Fitbit is you go to fitbit.com and you register for the guarantee. Okay. Second thing you do when you get to the site is join fitbit.com, because you're joining a community. You're joining a community of people who use Fitbits every day. You're joining a community of people who want to keep fit. You're joining a community which will encourage you to keep fit. Let's see what we can do there. So let's share screen and bring in the screen. And this is fitbit.com. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go picture in picture, like so. This is my Fitbit page. Okay, I'm going to shrink myself so you can see more of the page. Just give me a second. Let me shrink myself. Okay, so we're shrunk. This is fitbit.com. Just go there and register. And basically, all this is available to you. Now, the first thing you'll notice, top left, is a picture of two people. Fitbit has a community. And the community can chat to each other in different groups. And in addition to that, they can challenge each other. Now, I take part in 2 challenges every week, a weekday challenge and a weekday and a weekend challenge, Monday through Friday, Saturday and Sunday, either one. And that's basically a league of people who challenge each other to do the most steps during the week or the most steps at the weekend. Now, I'm never going to be at the top of the league, but I try not to be at the bottom of the league. I try to be somewhere in the middle. And the thing is that when you join one of these leagues and you go out and you do a 3-mile walk, 6,000 steps, somebody will cheer you. And it's basically this, having this supportive community around you who get to know you is brilliant. I mean, it's not a cutthroat competition, it's a friendly competition. You're competing with each other and you cheer everybody's good moves. They cheer yours. And that encourages you to do more walking. Walking is one of the simplest ways that we have of keeping fit. Now, I'm not going to quote any figures at you because that would be foolish. But all I'm saying is that this is how I keep fit, is using the Fitbit. I'm going to show you my motivation in a minute. The second thing is that it can, and I'm just going to go over to the site. It has a sleep monitor, and it will monitor how you sleep. And if you wear your Fitbit for 4 consecutive nights, then it will track your sleep. And after 4 nights, it will make a recommendation. And the next one, most steps done in a day, 60,000 is the most steps I've done in a day. I and this is the only chance I get to do this. So I'm going to come back on screen. I actually walk marathons. I walk the Sarsen Trail, which is from Avebury to Stonehenge, 26 miles, 385 yards. And when you complete the challenge, you get a medal. So my motivation for walking is to take part in long distance walks. And there are many around us. I mean, in the UK, we've got park runs. I think park runs are international. We're training for a 5K at the moment, Angelica and I. But this is basically a very valuable medal because it says that I did 26 miles, 385 yards, and I'm going to wear it for a moment because I'm actually proud of that statistic. Now, I did get sidetracked. I actually went off and did a few more steps than I needed to. But this is my main target this year, and I'm going to go click the more button. Everything I'm showing you is totally free, and I'm going to go to the year figure. Now, at the moment, this year, this last 12 months, I've done 833 miles. I'll take this off now. I've done 833 miles, yeah, wearing the Fitbit every single mile. And my target is to do 1,000 miles a year. Now, I've got to up my game during summer. We've just come through a very long winter, and we just come through, well, I'm not going to mention it, but we have been sort of kept at home and not be able to go out. So this year, totally different. We can walk anywhere we want, whenever we want. I'm going to enjoy that freedom, and I'm going to get another one of these. So that is basically the Fitbit Inspire, and the fact that you don't pay any subscription once you've got the Inspire or any similar Fitbit. You can join Fitbit.com, become part of your community, take part in weekend and weekday challenges, and it's just this. What I've shown you is totally free, and wearing Fitbit is how I stay fit, how I walk my marathons. Our Angelica stays fit, and it is the best way to actually exercise. Okay, because all you need to do is go out the door, and if you've got Fitbit and Fitbit.com friends, they will inspire you to do more and more steps. Simple as that. Okay, right, so that's the action part of this broadcast. And just to remind you, well, and me as well, is you're watching lights, camera, action with Stephen. That was the action bit. That was the Fitbit bit. Okay, and now we're going to go back to the cameras, and you're watching Stephen live from England. Okay, now, as you probably gathered by now, I totally enjoy being on Amazon Live. I'm here to help. If you're enjoying my broadcast, you can press the follow button. That's important. Basically, if you press the follow button, any point in time, you can go to the following tab up above me, and you can actually follow me, and you can see when I'm live next. Not only that, if you follow a number of Amazon Live broadcasters, you can build your own television channel, and then you can drop in on your favorites whenever they're live. So do make use of the function on any Amazon Live broadcast you watch. If you're enjoying the broadcast, just press the follow button. Simple as that. Okay. Lights, camera, action, Stephen, and we're going to have a change of pace now. Okay, because what I'm going to do is what am I going to do? Okay, I can do anything really, as long as I'm talking about things in the carousel. Yeah, I just want to say that I do enjoy being here and talking about the items that I own in the carousel. Over 75% of the items in the carousel I actually own, and I'm happy to talk about them, happy to answer any questions. I'm here to help you. Yeah, all the broadcasters are here to help you on Amazon.com. Okay, let's go in the carousel, and we're going to go to, right, up until last March, I was a desktop guy. I'm in my, just remind ourselves, I'm in my BeLive studio. Okay, I'm broadcasting live to Amazon Live using BeLive and OneStream. And I'm a desktop kind of guy. I love being on the desktop. I can bring in images, yeah, if I bring this on screen and I go here, and I'm going to hide Fitbit.com, I'm going to hide that video. I can bring in images. I can bring in all sorts of things, but I can bring in an image like this, which is a walk in the woods. But that's a photograph. And I have now fallen in love with mobile video. And if I can find it, I was at this point, okay, I'm going to talk about it. I can't actually show it you. I put it somewhere safe. Okay, I'm going to talk about mobile video. Yes, I'm going to talk about my mobile video, but I can't find my mobile. Okay, you just have to pretend that I've actually got a mobile phone in my hand. Okay, I'm going to tell you the problems with mobile video. Then I'm going to tell you the solution. Then I'm going to show you an example of using a home gimbal. Yeah. So that's the working order, hopefully. So if you're shooting mobile video, and you should, we shoot mobile video basically so that we have a personal memory. If I visit Stonehenge, I can film Stonehenge and then we can watch it on a dark night, and it was a sunny day at Stonehenge, beautiful day, we can relive it. So it's personal. The second thing is that there's no way that we can actually visit everywhere we want to. So if I know of people who are doing mobile video, I can watch their videos too. Okay, I can travel the world using videos. I go to YouTube, I could type in Paris, Texas, and I get a video at Paris, Texas. I could go to YouTube and type in Stonehenge, Wiltshire, and I see my own video. Okay, that's why I do it actually. But if you've got a mobile phone, then the first problem you've got is that if you've got an expensive mobile phone, what you don't want to do is you don't want to drop it. Yeah, you don't want to drop your mobile phone. If you spend $1,100 on a phone, last thing you want is for the phone to end up on the floor. The second thing is that if you use a mobile phone to actually shoot video, when you start moving, your hand will start moving up and down, which means that the resultant video is jumpy. Yeah, if you're going like that, then the video you're shooting, you think it straight. I don't go up and down, but you try it. If you try and shoot a video with your hand, then you'll see the video actually going up and down. Okay, as you walk. If you're still, then no problem. But as soon as you start walking, your hand will naturally go up and down. And you'll be concentrating on holding it, and you might miss your best shot. Okay. The solution is the hand. The solution to that is this. Okay, and this is, in its case, let me just take the Be Live logo off. Okay, and put that logo on for a second. Okay, and I'm going to show you basically how I do mobile video, and I'm going to give you an example of a mobile video. And it's so much fun. I mean, we talked about Fitbit a moment ago. Doing mobile video is a way of keeping fit, because if you're filming, you're walking, and if you're walking and filming, you don't notice it. Yeah. Let's go back to no logo. This in its carrying case, a beautiful case, very strong case. This just goes into my rucksack. It always lives. When I'm not broadcasting, this lives in my rucksack. And if I unzip it, yeah, then take it out. This is the Hoem High Steady Gimbal, which is, I just need to move a few things. Okay, I'm just going to move them, and I'm going to put that over there. Okay, I've just moved the tripod. You've seen the tripod. This is a gimbal. It has two purposes. One, to hold your camera steady, and two, it's got a gimbal in it. And basically, as you go up and down, the gimbal goes up and down. The result is a steady video. Now, for the price of $99, this is the difference between an amateur mobile video and a semi-professional to professional video. This improves the quality of your video simply using this. I'm not just going to talk about this, I'm going to show it to you. Okay, so stay with me. Right, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take myself off full screen, and I'm going to bring back this. So I'm going to show this on screen. Yeah, I've got so far. Then I want to hide that. Yep. And then I want to go like this. Possibly like this. Okay. This is my desktop. Okay. And I'm using the Obspot tiny camera, which is down in the carousel, to actually have two cameras on screen at the same time. Bottom right, the Logitech Brio on screen now. Showing my medal. Let's hide my walking medal over there. And you can see Aftershok's earbuds, earphones. I'm going to bring those on later. You can see Logitech Litra Light all down in the carousel. But this is the How Am I Steady gimbal. Just one thing I need to do. Just forgive me for a moment. My lighting is set up to light me because that's the only light that's needed. But when you've actually got more than just my personal space, I need to switch the room light on as well. So we've now got the room light on. This is the gimbal. Your phone goes into the clamp. Okay, the clamp will take a larger phone. So iPhone, doesn't matter what phone it is, Android or iPhone will fit in there. Yeah, in the clamp. That's our first problem. Was we've overcome. The phone is now held steadily, okay, with the lens at the top and the bottom just rests on that ledge there. Okay, so you've got it in the gimbal. Now, the next thing, having got your phone in the gimbal, which is easy to do, you'll have the gimbal in your hand. Do not press the start button with the gimbal in your hand. The first thing a gimbal does, okay, this is a using a gimbal 101. The first thing a gimbal does is to calibrate. You want to put the gimbal down on a flat surface. Now, I've got the gimbal now, and it's on my desking. There you are. You can see it. It can either be on your desking, or it can be on a bench or on a flat rock. It needs to be somewhere flat. Do not switch it on if it's not on a flat surface, because the first thing it does is stabilize. And if you're holding it, it won't stabilize properly. Simple as that. So that's the first golden rule of using a gimbal, is do have it and start it on a flat surface. Just put your phone in, press the start button, and you're ready to go. Now, the control panel, right, Control Central, has buttons for zoom in, zoom out, pan left and right, and tilt up and down. You can control that all from that control panel there. Okay. Otherwise, you can just switch it on and point and shoot. That's it. Your phone is safe. You're not going to. There's something wrong if you're going to drop a gimbal. I would suggest that not many people will forget they're actually carrying a gimbal, and gripping a gimbal, it actually has a very well contoured grip on the bottom, natural contours, and you just hold it like that and you point and shoot. Having switched the gimbal on, calibrates, it turns itself up like that, okay, like that. You can then switch the recording device on. Now, when I use a gimbal, I actually go live. Yeah, I broadcast from my phone to Stonehenge or Avebury or Quartz Garden, and I broadcast live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, and my website. Okay, I'll cover that in another show. But you can either record or you can broadcast live, and there is nothing like broadcasting live and getting feedback as you're walking around Stonehenge or Avebury or the Quartz Garden or Salisbury Cathedral. Right, now the reason for mentioning Salisbury Cathedral is that I can wax lyrical about how good this gimbal is, but I think it's far better that I actually show you a gimbal. Sorry. Okay, just let me. Okay, I've got that. I just need to put a couple of things into place. It will be worth it. Just bear with me a second. I'm just going through what's down in my carousel in my studio, and there it is. Okay. This is a great way of exercise. This is a way of recording history. This is a way of reaching out to people on YouTube. This is a way of staying fit. So What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you 2 minutes of a 25-minute video of Salisbury Cathedral. I'm going to take myself off full screen. This video was created using the Hohem gimbal, which we've just been talking about, and this is what it can do. So I'm going to hide my second camera. We don't need that at the moment. We'll bring it back later. And I'm going to switch this onto full screen, and I'm going to switch my microphone off. This video, you can watch the full video on YouTube. For the moment, we're just going to watch an excerpt. We're going to Salisbury Cathedral, which is a place of pilgrimage built in the 11th and 12th century. It's, well, you decide. I know what it is. Let's turn my microphone off and press play.
Walk around, and it is a great place to visit. It's something about Salisbury. And say hello to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter and Twitch. Hopefully I'm live on my website too as we take this walk around Salisbury Cathedral. This is going to be a short broadcast, but hopefully it's a successful one. I can't see your comments because I'm actually just following around the cloisters. Okay, now the plan is we'll walk around the 4 sides of the cloisters and try and avoid people. But Salisbury for centuries has been a place of pilgrimage, just in the same way that pilgrims in Spain go on pilgrimages. Then this is one of the places that people from Europe used to come and visit. We're about to go past a door in a moment, a very special door. So we head towards the end of the corridor. And this piece is closed off. There are gardens through that door. We can go out into the gardens. But we're coming up the 3rd side of the cloisters. And if I go over here, then I can give you an idea of what he said standing up, what the cloisters actually look like. It is a beautiful sight. As I just pan round to the cathedral itself, and hopefully I can just climb down again. Okay, 1, 2, we're down. Okay, so now on our right, and it will be described in a moment on this poster here, this is the chapter house. And the chapter house, we can sort of look through the glass, but that's where there is one of the copies of the Magna Carta from 1215. And it's one of the original copies made at the time of the original. It's one of only 3 existing copies of the Magna Carta. And if you go through that doorway, then you can read and see the story of the Magna Carta. And then you can read the document itself, which of course is in Latin, which is where a Latin education comes in handy. And now we're going down the 4th.
Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, because you've seen the inside of the cathedral, I'm going to fast forward and I'm going to show you the exterior of the cathedral from round about here. Okay, I think that'll be good. I'm going to switch the video back on and switch my microphone off.
Fourth side of the place
That I can actually
show you the magnificence of the cathedral as we go around. And there's nobody walking around here. We're quite safe until I get to the edge. Then what I'm going to try and do is go up, and if I zoom out, you get some idea of what the cathedral actually looks like. I'm just going to try and adjust here because I do want to get it. That's it. I'm going right to the top of the spire, and it will be cold up there today. And then coming down, sorry for being juddery, but we're actually coming down the external walls of the cathedral. Okay, so it is the 21st December 2021.
And I'm back full screen. I'm going to hide the video. That was Salisbury Cathedral, which is, it's only half an hour from where we live. So we were able to visit 3 or 4 times a year. And I always take the gimbal with me, yeah, and shoot video. And the thing is, you've seen that it's steady. Okay, it stays fairly steady if you're using your mobile phone in the gimbal. And the home gimbal is down the carousel. Now, you'll notice that when I was talking there, just give me a second. I need to make an adjustment. Okay, that's better. It's back to me. You'll notice when I was talking there that you could hear my narration. Now, basically, whenever we go anywhere, I do a bit of cribbing in the morning, a bit of research, and then when I can actually go and do the filming, I've actually got something to say. So, because we've been to similar places, I don't need to do similar places a lot of times. I don't need too much cribbing. But what I want is my voice to be heard on the narration of the video. Now, I could use the mobile phone microphone, but the problem with that is you could make it single direction, but it's not as good as the item that's down in the carousel now, which is this. Okay. The gimbal is the first piece of the kit you need to do mobile video. The second thing you need is the power device, the Lapel microphone. Now, this is the difference between amateur and semi-professional to professional, is having a decent microphone. This microphone has 2 uses, which I'll describe to you in a moment, but its primary use I use it with is mobile video. This also, in its beautiful carrying case, power device, it comes in this carrying case, goes into my rucksack. Okay, you'll see my rucksack in a minute. It's a star of the show later. If I open this up, okay, I want to read the back to you, because the back just is, words can change lives, record them perfectly, and this lapel microphone does that. Okay, and all you need to do, and I've hampered myself by hiding my phone, but I will try. I'm going to carry on. Always carry on. This is the I'll show you my phone tomorrow. This is the lapel microphone, and I've just decapitated it. Just a second. Just look at that for a minute. Okay, and whilst you're looking at that, I can bend down and I can pick up, because I want to show you the microphone properly. I don't want to show you the microphone if it's not dressed properly. So let me do this. Okay, and now I can come back. Okay, if you're doing a live video and everything goes perfectly, you're doing something wrong. Live video is not about perfection. Live video is about making the mistakes, owning them, and carrying on. Okay, so this is the lapel microphone. It's got its cover on, okay, and that's what fell off. I just put that back on, and it's got a crocodile clip, and with the crocodile clip, it just attaches to your clothing, he said. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to squeeze the crocodile clip, and I'm going to attach it to my clothing, except I've got to do this because I want to show it to you. Okay, the lapel microphone just clips onto your clothing, and it's, despite what I've just shown you, it is easy to do. The other end of the microphone plugs, the audio lead plugs into your mobile phone, which you've got to sort of imagine is there. It plugs into the bottom and it cuts out the audio on your mobile phone. You don't need any software. You just plug it in and that's it. And that means that you're now using this microphone. Now, the beauty of this microphone, the beauty of the lapel microphones, is that they're up against your body, which means your body absorbs a lot of the sound. That's why they work. That's why people like them. Yeah, because they simply work. Plug into your phone, and that's all you need to do. And it will stay as part of your phone until you unplug it. Now, that gives you great narration on your mobile videos, great quality. It's got a reasonable tone. True story. In addition to broadcasting on Amazon Live, I am a Udemy instructor. And I do courses on Udemy. Udemy, quite probably the biggest online course provider in the world. And I'm a Udemy instructor with 16,000 students. And I teach people about live broadcasting. And in doing that, I had to record video because the courses are made up of video and text and images. Now, in terms of the video, I've got my camera, but the microphone in the camera wasn't good enough. And they said, you've got two choices, because they're sticklers for quality. They want if you're paying $50 for a Udemy course, then you want a high quality video. The people actually making sure it's a high quality video are Udemy. And they said you have two choices when you record your sound. You can either soundproof your office, or I'm trying here, I am really trying, you can use a lapel microphone. So this microphone is not just for mobile. Its second use is you can use it as you can use any microphone. You can plug this microphone into your PC and Mac. For the price it is today, you can get an external microphone for your PC or Mac at $39.39, which is 34% off. And this is a great external microphone to use with your PC or Mac and to record. I recorded all my Udemy courses using a lapel microphone, a high quality lapel microphone like this one, which has its carrying case. Yeah, you've been listening to the sound of it on the video a moment ago. This is it. This is a PowerDeWise lapel microphone, and I use it every time I do live video. And it's high quality, simple to use. Plug it into your phone, and that's it. Okay, so I'm now going to put all that down on the desktop. We've talked about mobile video. We talked about two major ingredients being a gimbal and the microphone. Okay, now we're going to switch back now. Okay, we're going to switch back. I'm going to go back a little bit. In my carousel, I'm going to go to a camera. This is not just any camera. Okay, to give its official title, and I've highlighted it in the carousel. I'm going to go here. It's the Obspot Tiny PTZ webcam. You've already seen it, and I'm going to tell you more about it. I'm also going to show you the software you can use to control the Obspot Tiny PTZ cam. I love it when there is software that comes with the hardware. Now, Obspot is a camera with a difference. This is not a camera. It can sit on top of your monitor, but it does much more than any other camera I've ever seen. It's the most fun I've had with the camera, and it's got more applications than standard cameras. We're going to take a look at it now. And if I go off full screen, yeah, and I switch the camera on, that's always a good idea. Right, so this is the Obspot Tiny PTZ camera, which is live. Okay, and whilst we're here, that's the gimbal. I'm going to just give me a moment. And usually I'm going to give you a tour of my desktop before you're actually watching the Obspot Tiny camera there. So that's the gimbal out of the way. We talked about Logitech Light at the beginning of the show. I'm going to show you that before I go again. So when you see that again, that's the end of the show. We've got Alexa. Alexa, will it rain today? There you go. Right, it's not going to rain tonight. If you didn't hear that, there's a 12% chance at 1 a.m. I will be fast asleep. I love the Echo Dot. We just got a new Echo Dot, which is why I've got this one. I've got the 3rd generation. Angelica's got the 4th generation. And I love the Dot. It is down in the carousel. So many different uses for the Echo Dot. TP-Link Echo is my Wi-Fi of choice. You'll find it down in the carousel. All I can say is it simply works. You get 3 units. You put the first unit into your router, switch it on, download the software, and you're away. Okay, and I'll come back. I'll probably talk about that if I get a chance today. Right, but this is the Obspot Tiny PTZ cam, and I'm going to put it full screen. Okay, so it's now full screen. You can still hear me, but if I go here, I can take the camera off looking at my desktop to me. Just one click of a button, and it's moved from the desktop to me. It has 3 presets, yeah, which means that because it's got a gimbal, basically, well, I'm going to show you what it can do. I'm going to put it through its paces, because this is a camera with a difference, a camera with something extra. It's got AI tracking, it's got zoom, it's 720 and 1080p. Let's just have a look at the facilities before I'm going to give you a demonstration of what the camera can do, and then I'm going to show you the software that comes with the camera that allows you to control it. Okay, you can use it out of the box, as I keep saying, but if you get the software to go with it, then you can make greater use of it. Okay, second thing, it is AI powered, and we'll see the AI in a moment, and it's got gesture control. Okay, start tracking, stop tracking, zoom in, zoom out. Okay, those are the controls. That's all you need. You can control it with your hands, stop and start tracking, and zoom in, zoom out. It is full 1080p webcam. Okay, and in addition to that, it's dual omnidirectional microphones, and it does have, as we'll see in a minute, additional facilities. It's 90-degree wide angle, but because it's on a gimbal and it can swivel, it can go from my desktop. Okay, I always want this demonstration to go perfectly. If I want, I can. I'm just going to move the software so I can see both at the same time. I can zoom out, yeah, and I can zoom. So now you can see my Microsoft Surface Book 2. Okay, and I can zoom in again. So I've got the Surface 2 out of the picture. Right, back to me. Okay, this is one camera, and then to another location, and this is looking at the wall, and I can adjust that picture by using the trackball. I'll show you that in a moment. I'm going to come back to me. Okay, this is the most incredible camera because what it can do, it has built-in AI, which means that I'm just going to test that this is working. Yes, it is. Okay, it means I'm going to give you a practical demonstration of this. Okay, this is basically, well, if I move, yeah, then basically this camera is actually tracking me. Yeah, and just a reminder, if I come back here, and it is tracking everything that I do, we are using the Obspot Tiny PTZ camera. Every time I move my chair out of the way and I'm coming closer, then the camera moves with me. But the thing it always does, as you've noticed, is it always gives, we talked about this earlier, it always gives me headroom. Yeah, so it does that automatically. It also tracks me as I move about. Now, if you're in a teaching environment and you have a front of class, either a teacher or professor giving a lecture, you can actually turn this Obspot Tiny camera upside down, put it up on a bracket on the wall, and this will track the teacher or professor as they move about the podium, about the stage, and they're giving a lecture, they're using a whiteboard, and this will record everything perfectly. Yeah. The other thing is basically it gives me the opportunity, he said, standing back a bit, I'm just going to dip down, okay, and come back up again. It gives me the opportunity to actually demonstrate. So I can actually take the lapel microphone we had earlier, and you can watch me clip it on, which might not be the best thing in the world. But the other thing I can do is, because I'm stood up, I can talk about products with, when you stood up, you've got more energy. Yeah, that comes through. You have more energy when you stood up. So I'm going to talk about this with some energy. So this is the, well, this is a speaker. He said, this is the Treb. Let's take that off because it's getting in the way. This is the Treblab HD77 speaker. It has 4 embossed controls on top. You've got on and off. If I switch it on, then you've got a blue light that shows that it's actually on. Okay, so that's the first thing. It's got next track and previous track. It's got volume controls up and down. It's made of ABS plastic. It's got a grill which goes all over, and then underneath you have the charging port, and you can pull out that and you can charge it. Okay, standard charger. If you charge it for 8 hours, then it's good to play for 20 hours. Okay, it is. Now, when I first got this, I did some research and I went over to YouTube and I watched people actually using this. And they said that this is waterproof, and they put it in a pale bucket of water, and it was still playing when it came out. Now, I'm not about to put this in a bucket of water. No, I'm about to drop it on the floor. All I can say is that you have twin subwoofers, 25 watts of power. You have on the bottom, you can actually attach a lanyard and then attach it to your rucksack, and you can carry this about when you go walking. If you go and climb, if you went to climb Mount Everest, attach this to your rucksack, walk up Mount Everest, take you several days, and you can play music as you go. Okay, pairs seamlessly with your mobile phone, and you can play Amazon Music. You can even play Spotify or a podcast, and everybody will be able to hear it. Now, this is going out and about with Angelica and I this summer, so that when we go out and about visiting country houses, castles, and national monuments, we can actually listen to music on the go, because it's fairly lightweight. It's about the same size as a can of Coke. Now, it is down the carousel. That's the Treblab HD77 speaker. So the thing about being stood up is that I'm stood up using the Obspot Tiny PTZ camera. I can basically, because my diaphragm is free, I can put more into the presentation, and you'll see me standing more and more during my Amazon lives. But I just love the fact that this Obspot camera does so much more than the standard camera. It is on my desking. Just give me a moment. It is on my desking, and the camera, Smith, the camera will track me. Just a minute, I might have broken it. Just a second, talk amongst yourselves. Okay, the camera will track me until, well, let's go to the desktop. Right, okay, and whilst we're at the desktop, I am going to come and I'm going to sit down, and then we can come back to me. So the Obspot Tiny PTZ camera is a camera with a difference. It's so much fun actually using it. Now, what I'm going to do is, you know me, I'm actually going to show you the software that works with the camera. So let's go and do a screen share. Okay, and this is the software. You go to Obspot, you download the software, and you can then control the camera. And this is the software. Okay. Okay. So this is the software. Just go to Obspot, download the software, and you're then in total control of your camera. Okay. And just so that we don't get confused, I'm going to hide that camera. Okay. You're then in, this better work. You're then in total control of your camera. Now, as you can see, I'm on the Obspot, the bottom right hand corner. This is the software. If I go on the software and I go, not that software, I've got so many bits of software on my desktop, it's not true. Just a minute. Let me close that. I'm going to leave the Logitech Litra light on. I can, and we'll go side by side so you can actually see this. If I go, let me do something. I want to change theme because I want to give you the full effect. So bear with me a moment. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap so that I'm on the left and the software's on the right. Okay, and that works well. Okay, so you've got me and then you've got the software next to me. Okay, now it's very disconcerting because I'm used to looking at the Brio camera and now I've got to look at the Obspot Tiny. So if I'm not looking at the camera all the time, the reason is that I haven't actually got used to it yet, but I will. But this is the software that actually controls it. And if I go side by side, then I can move the camera. If I press desktop, the desktop button at the bottom, the camera will move to the desktop. Then I can zoom in on the desktop, or I can zoom out on the desktop. And I'm going to go to the desktop again, and it'll go back to its original setting. Then I can come to me. So I'm pressing Stephen, which is me, and it comes to me. I'm pressing location 3, which is the wall over there, and it's going to the wall. Now I can adjust that using the ball tracker there. I can just move it so that, and I can zoom in. Okay, so let's just zoom in. I'm going to go up a bit, probably pressing that way. Okay, let's just go up the wall a bit and down a bit and set there. And I can then right click on the preset and I can update. Okay, now you didn't see that, but I did update it just to prove that. If I come back to me, yeah, and back to the desktop, everything's still working. And if I go to the preset 3, so those are 3 presets. Now you can set up any 3 presets that you want. Okay, now come back to me because I'm on camera. Okay, so I'm back to me, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click the button underneath. Now you can see now the next part of the software. It's very comprehensive software, and it has been, they do update this software regularly. I've got to say that Obspot do a great job of updating both the firmware for the camera and the software that I'm showing you now for the Obspot Tiny camera. We've talked about the gestures, and I can switch them on off. I can change the tracking mode from headroom mode, we've talked about headroom, to standard mode to motion mode. Now, if it's in motion mode, if you had somebody doing a 100-yard race, you could get the camera to track them from start to finish. Okay, just by zoning in on them, and then it would do its own thing and it would track them. Simple. So that's motion mode. I can configure the video, which is the standard configuration for any camera, and this is a new feature. This is face auto exposure, which was released about a month ago, and this is if you compare, just a minute, I want to go here. If you compare my image now to the way it was basically 12 months or 3 months ago, the improvement is impressive. Yeah, these are getting towards natural colors, and it's not oversaturated. It is a good look. And if I put the 2 cameras side by side, that's because we've finished with the software now. That's basically, you can control the camera, and what I'm going to do is switch this camera back on, and I'm going to stop sharing the software. And now, can you tell me the difference? Okay, which is the Obspot and which is the Brio? So this is a direct comparison of the Obspot Tiny, which, believe you me, is here. No, it's not. It's there. No. Right, you get what I'm saying. Basically, Obspot Tiny, which is, if I put this on, okay, that helps confusion. You're actually comparing now the Obspot Tiny with the Logitech Brio, and they're both good quality cameras. They have different feature sets. The Obspot Tiny that you're looking at on the left-hand side, there is a new version of the Obspot Tiny which has 4K. Yeah, we know the Brio's got 4K, but the Obspot Tiny has got 4K now. And if you click the link in the carousel, take the Obspot to the Obspot Tiny page, and I'm just going to go over to my iPad as we come to the end of the Obspot Tiny demonstration. And I've got some comments, and we say hello to Rome, and Rome is saying, hit the follow button, ask questions in the chat. Hello, everyone. Hello, Rome, and thank you for joining me. If you are watching live, still, Rome, then please drop a link to your page. If you're watching any of the live broadcasts on Amazon Live, we want to say thank you. If you follow people on Amazon Live, then it's a win-win situation, because if you follow somebody on Amazon Live, you'll be able to watch their own past broadcasts and live broadcasts just by clicking the following tab at the top. And it's a great way of, just follow people. Yeah, it helps. You can actually build your own television channel, your own Amazon Live television channel, by selecting the broadcasters you enjoy watching. Yeah, and it's a great way. I mean, basically, what you can do when you're watching live is to comment and ask your questions. Yeah, we don't bite. We're very friendly. We don't work for Amazon. We're independent, and we like talking to people. That's the truth. We're here to chat and to listen and to answer your questions. Yeah, we're a free service from Amazon.com. Yeah, there is no cost to actually watching us. You can watch us free 24/7 now. If you go to browse and you go to streaming soon, you'll see all the broadcasters are actually going to be live on Amazon Live in the next 24 hours, and you can set a reminder and be reminded when we go live. And it is now wall to wall. Amazon Live is now virtually 24/7 with broadcasters from all around the world. Yeah. In actual fact, if I go over here, if I did this video, okay, I just wanted, because, okay, I'm going to bring this up on screen. Okay, I just want to take a minute. I literally do want to take a minute. Okay, so I'm going to go off full screen. Okay, I'm going to hide that camera, which is the Obspot Tiny. Okay, I'm going to bring this video up full screen. And I'm going to go, well, basically, this is what this is all about. Okay, so I'm going to switch my microphone off and press play. And this is Amazon Live. This is a short guided tour of what Amazon Live is about. Now, basically, Amazon Live is broadcasters from around the globe getting together to broadcast on Amazon.com and talk about the products they own and love. And this is the homepage, amazon.com/live. You can reach it from the amazon.com homepage by taking the menu and going down to get to Amazon Live. Now, on the left-hand side of the screen, we've got the people I'm actually following. I'm on the Discover page, which is basically shows me the broadcasts that are live at the moment. You'll see in the top left-hand corner, it says live. And we've got a variety of topics. As we go down, we'll see people who are live and people who've been live. Now, if people have been live, you can actually watch the replay. If they are live, however, there is more that you can do. The first thing is that you can follow people. Now, if you follow, this is important because it means you'll never lose this broadcast. It will always be available to you in the following tab, which is all the shows that you follow on a regular basis, and you can watch the replays or you can watch live just by going to the following tab.
Whilst the broadcast is live, you can type in to the text box. So I'm going to type in hello from the UK. Okay, and that shows on the screen. So you can communicate with the live broadcasters whilst they are live. You can type text, you can ask questions about the products they're actually demonstrating, and you'll get answers live on air. These are people who actually know the products well, and when they talk about something that's down the carousel, they do know about it, and you can ask questions. The questions and the text in the right hand side of this page will actually disappear after the show. So it's not a permanent record. The only thing that survives a live broadcast is the recording. All the text down the right hand side goes. The second thing you can do is you can follow somebody. Now if you press the following button, it means that you'll quickly be able to find their broadcasts. Now this is important. In the center of the screen you can see an unmute button. Until you press the unmute button on an individual broadcast, you cannot listen to what the person is saying. Now obviously it makes it more interesting when you can hear what people are saying. So if you find what the presenter is doing interesting, do unmute and listen. Nobody knows that you've unmuted and listened. We don't know who people are. We just know the number of people who've unmuted and listened. We never get to know your contact details in any way, shape or form. So you can comment and you can unmute and you can follow, yeah, without, well, you're still to a certain extent anonymous. So that's the show that's live at the moment. If we go for another show that's live at the moment, and we're back to me. Okay, so that was just a quick overview I did a couple of months ago of Amazon Live, and I think I need to bring it up to date because I know more now than I did then. But this is an interactive show. If you want to get involved, then just comment, say where you're from, say hello, yeah, because I have no idea. We have no idea until you are, who you are, where you are, yeah. So if you want information about anything that's in the carousel, then just ask. That's basically. Now I'm going over to my iPad, and I want to say thank you for actually watching me live today. We've just been looking at the Obspot Tiny, and the next thing that we're actually going to look at today is a microphone. Okay, now I need my second camera, so I'm going to switch my second camera on. Okay, hang on. Oh. Okay, so you've got the Obspot Tiny. I can take off what it is, and then I can go full screen. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to another view. I'm going to switch, if I move that out of the way and I switch to the desktop, then you can see the desktop. You can still see my arm. This is the lapel microphone. There's the Ultra Litra glow light. Okay, and this is entering from over here is the microphone, which is down the carousel at the moment, which you've been listening to throughout this broadcast. This is the Elgato. Oh, just a minute, it's tangled up. This is the Elgato Wave 3 microphone. Now you can input a set of earbuds or headphones into here to actually preview the sound, and you can control the volume of the sound from the front of the microphone, and it doesn't want to turn. You can, it comes with a beautiful stand, and you can tell the quality of the sound because you've been listening to it. Now if I get closer to the microphone, then the volume of my sound actually increases. Okay, so I'm going to put it down on the desktop again, and I'm going to come back to me. So the Elgato Wave 3 microphone, I basically I auditioned it. I do
panel broadcasts with more than me on screen. And I did a broadcast last November with Krista Boven from Belgium, with Rico Glover from the States, and with Alec Dorling from Sweden. And I said to them, please bring along your microphones. Well, at the time, this was my microphone, which is down in the carousel, which is the Audio-Technica AT2020. And this is a brilliant microphone. But I was listening to Chris and to Rico and to Alec, and Alec's sound was better than mine. So I said to Alec, what microphone are you actually using? And he said the Elgato Wave 3. So this is my AT2020, which was my favorite microphone and my new favorite microphone, because I heard the sound, I heard the tone, I heard the richness of the sound, and I went and got the Elgato Wave 3, and you're listening to it now. And it is the quality now. You have, I'll put the Audio-Technica down because you're listening to Elgato. You have, whilst you're watching Amazon Live, an ideal opportunity to actually find the best microphone. How do you do that? It's the one that sounds best to you. As you're watching different people on their live broadcast on Amazon Live, if you hear a microphone and you like the quality of the sound, you like the richness of the sound, ask the host of the show which microphone they're using, and they will tell you. Yeah. In fact, if there are any broadcasters watching now, I think that every single broadcaster on Amazon Live should have in their carousel the camera and the microphone they are using. It's an opportunity, because if you listen to somebody on Amazon Live, you want to know which camera they're using, which microphone they're using. They could be down in the carousel. Mine are down in the carousel. Yeah. Okay. So that's the Logitech, and you've been listening to it, and there's no greater show I could give you than actually you're actually listening to the microphone. Okay. Now I'm going to finish today's broadcast. I want to say a big thank you for watching. I'm going to finish it with this, which is the Logitech Litra Lite. I was watching a broadcast, just a moment. Let's come down here. Hopefully I'll find this. Right, okay, I'm going to bring this up on screen. The greatest thing that I can say about a microphone, a light, is that basically, having seen it, my friends have actually been buying it. I'm going to switch the camera off. Okay. And my friend Jim saw my presentation of the Logitech Litra Lite, which is down in the carousel at the moment, and he bought one. And basically, he loves the light, and he loves the fact that he can use his green screen software, as you can see, and the light means he doesn't need a physical green screen. And he's worked all that out. Now, Logitech Litra Lite is the first light that Logitech have ever done. We know about Logitech cameras, 920, 922, etc. This is the first light. This was released in January 2022. So it's only a few months old. It is basically the light that's lighting me now. I've got one next to my Logitech Brio camera beaming down at me at the moment. And if I switch it off, he said, I've closed the software. Just a minute. I just need to open up the software again. Okay. Okay. I should have decided I was actually going to use this. If I switch the light off, you can see I've gone a lot darker. The Brio is doing its best to compensate, but there is no better way to be lit than by Logitech Litra Lite. The light itself is lightweight. You can bend the light forward like that. You can take it back. You can bend it sideways, that way, left and right. Okay. You can, mine's on, you can extend this going up and mine is up above me, and it's like that. Okay, and it is a soft light. It's not a hard light. And you lift the shelf, and you can put it over the back of your monitor, and it simply works. I'm being lit by it now, and it's just a high quality build, as you'd expect from Logitech, and it is the best light I've seen. And I bought it after watching my friend Marco Novo talking with Daniel Zigman of Logitech, and I recommend this light. It just works out the box. Okay, right, I'd like to say thank you for actually watching me on Amazon Live today. I always enjoy broadcasting in Amazon Live. It's the best place to broadcast. I'm back again tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern tomorrow, because I've got to change schedule tomorrow. So I look forward to seeing you again. Thank you for taking your time to actually watch me live. Thank you, Rome, for the comments. Thank you, everybody. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. And see Stephen in, well, I can tell you. You have been watching Stephen live from Wiltshire in England. I'll be back again tomorrow. Take care. Bye for now. That's a wrap.